Creativity is an addiction. Unplugged because we will always say yes to creativity. Totally uncut because we all make mistakes. So let's turn it into a tool. This is Arroe Unplugged. And they keep coming. I prep for my podcast interviews a week in advance. You see, the goal is to be fully ready without stress. And isn't that what life is supposed to be about? No or very little anxiety. Yet the invitations to share conversations keep coming. Not a complaint, but reasons to continue making show prep a real priority. I don't see much of it in the real business world these days. Every week at The Essential Job, mistakes are being made in ways that invisibly affect our guests. Something as simple as ordering bags or toilet paper becomes a huge problem when a guest walks up to you and tells you, "Hey, you're out of this." You can't teach show prep. You do it because somewhere along the line, you met the face of failure. The reason why so many people don't prep is due to those around them. In most cases, there's always going to be a backup locked in on saving the day. SYA, save your own ass. The whole idea of not prepping, try to sell that to a chef at any restaurant, even the cafeteria at the school. Try to tell them that you don't need to prep because that kitchen has got to be prepped or the guests are not coming back. Hey, it's Arroe. This is the Daily Mass, a chronological walk through an everyday world. I am a daily writer, the silent wolf, the one that sits right here on the sidelines and watches everything. I participate with it. I don't just sit here and expect things to come to me, but I get involved. And that's what you got to do in life is that become a part of the community, become a part of the story. Don't just be a knot on a tree. This is the Daily Mass. A moment. All we need is a moment. I heard that a lot while being the production director of 6 radio stations. Hey, you got a moment? Every day, I walked into several moments based on making connections with clients seeking newer ways to reach radio listeners. While in a moment, patience is the positive. Hear the request before acting out the command. A moment isn't a reason to find reason to debate. It's to share each other's common ground, then set out to accomplish it. I do miss my radio moments, mainly because most moments were with real people trying to get their bills paid, and it couldn't happen if our moments weren't set up. Moments are meant to get in the way. They are the greatest team building exercise. More than just taking people out to a water park or a local bar and saying, "All right, you guys, get along, all right?" You have got to learn how to master the art of the moment. And being present with your own beliefs is very, very important. I was talking with Alex Campbell today. He's a school teacher in the eastern part of Tennessee. You know what this guy did? He had a moment with himself. He loves true crime podcasts and stories. That moment with himself, he said, I would love to figure out a way to get students to solve cold case murders. Murder 101 is his podcast. He took his own personal moment and created a moment for those students. Their moment then got the FBI involved. And now they're solving cold case murders. What are you doing with your moments? Is it just tossed to the side? Is it an irritation to even hear somebody say, "Hey, you got a moment?" In fact, people don't even say that anymore. They just walk into the conversation that you're having and they start spilling their beans. It's like, "Oh, I guess you needed a moment with me, right?" Well, now everybody knows about our moment. Learn to respect the moment by asking somebody if they do have a moment. And if they don't, can we set up a time so that we can create a moment? Because from those moments, there's progress. And for progress, we have to have a process. And the process is, let's agree to have a conversation. I'm Arroe, and that's the Daily Mess.